Greetings and welcome. This is the What is Popular Culture project video. So in this video I'm going to walk through this particular assignment and kind of hopefully clarify its complexity. But again, this is kind of an intro. You really should be definitely looking at the guidelines or looking at the guidelines as you're going through this video. So this project is worth 400 points of your final grade. It is 2,000 words long, or it will be when you are done with it. There's 7 parts to this project. You will be forming it throughout the semester, so looking at that 2,000 words, don't think like, oh my gosh, I've got to write this 2,000 word paper. It's done in smaller chunks, so therefore it makes it much more manageable. And the cool thing about this project is it really allows you to integrate different content, experiences, and writings that you're doing throughout the course. So this project, the title of it is What is Popular Culture? Maybe that's not the best name for the assignment, but it's really just trying to get the student to think about what they've learned throughout this course and applying a lot of what they've learned to this question of popular culture and its relevance. But some of the questions that this paper should address should be the following. What is popular culture? What is meant by popular? What makes it culture? What values does popular culture offer society? How does popular culture reflect society? And how does society reflect popular culture? What meanings does popular culture provide or create within the culture? How does one study popular culture? Why does one study popular culture? And what values lie, or what value lies in studying popular culture? What is the purpose of theories and analytical frames in studying popular culture? How does one apply these theories and frameworks within popular culture? And note, your paper shouldn't just straightforwardly answer these, but really your essay should integrate these, some of the answers to these into the paper. You don't want it to just be, this is what popular culture is, and this is what it offers society, but you really want to think about how you can kind of blend everything you've done into this semester into a coherent discussion about popular culture. So let's take a look at part 1. You deal with this pretty early in the semester. It's usually due the second week of the course, and it's only 250 words, so that's about a double-spaced page. And you're really working with defining what is popular culture. So what you want to do here is sum up in a good, critical, thoughtful way. What did you learn in the first 2 modules about popular culture? And realize you're gonna submit this, but you want to constantly be coming back to revise it and revisit it, rethink it, because this thought should be changing as we move through the semester. So parts 2 to 4 are a little bit interesting. I call these the adding component parts. And what you'll have is within this, you end up with 2 steps for part 2, part 3, part 4. The first part is to submit your option for review. So parts 2 through 4, you're going to have 5 options that you can choose from, and you're going to want to first submit what option you're doing, and what you're doing it on, and then the second part will be actually doing it. So in that submission, you want to identify different subjects. You want to move beyond the class material, and what I mean by that is merely that as you're going through these parts, you really want to be doing not only different assignments, but focusing on different things. You shouldn't be doing, say, football for part 2, part 3, part 4. It should be something like, say, you do football for 1, you do, pop concerts for another, and you do race cars for a third, right? So you want to vary up the subjects, and you want to move beyond the class materials. You want to really do things that aren't covered by the course. And then step 2 is just writing the paper, writing or doing the assignment, because some of these require different ways of doing the work than others. So what are those options? One is observing popular culture, and this is a fun one, often that students do. So this would entail kind of thinking of yourself as a anthropologist and going to a concert and observing kind of how people interact, what's going on there, what's the culture being enacted, or going to a parade, or going to a major sporting event, going to some place where there's a large amount of people participating in some form of popular culture, and then writing an essay about what that was like and how it relates to what we're doing in the course. Another would be critiquing popular culture, so a particular area of popular culture, providing a very interesting critique and review of what it is, how people engage in it, why people engage in it, that kind of thing. interview with somebody with either either a pop culture person, meaning somebody who is a celebrity or well known within certain areas. It could mean interviewing somebody that's involved in popular culture, so maybe it's somebody who helps to run Anime Boston, or it's somebody who writes for a very well known popular culture magazine or publication. Evaluate academic content on popular culture. So this would be kind of like the article analysis, just a much smaller version. And then analyze an artifact of popular culture from before 1960. So you want to think of this, if you've taken a history course, this is kind of like a primary source analysis. You're going to take some artifact. It could be an episode, it could be a advertisement, a newspaper article, a movie, etc. And you want to write you want to analyze it through some of the lenses that we've used within this course. So those are your 5 options. So what you have to think about is this is parts 2 through 4, so that's 3 parts, and you're going to have to do at least 3 of these for parts 2 through 4. Part 5 is going to be synthesis. So you're going to take what you did for part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, and you're going to also, if you want, pull in stuff from the blog and make it into one coherent piece. That coherent piece should have an introduction. It should have clear connection and discussion of course ideas and themes, clear use of the components explored in parts 2 through 4, and any relevant blog posts that you write that feel help add to your discussion or make your discussion more coherent. Clear connections and transitions among the different elements discussed. So this is a lot of students, or not a lot, sometimes students will take their 5 pieces, 4 pieces, and just throw them into their paper and call it a day. They really have to work together. They really have to blend together. Otherwise, it's not really an essay. It's not really a coherent or synthesized piece. And then, of course, you should have a conclusion. So that's what you want to be thinking about for part 5, is just pulling it all together. And what to think about is by that point you'll have written almost all 1,500 words, if not more, and so now you're looking at refining, cleaning up, tweaking, editing. So that's really cool. You're not writing straight out 1,500 words, but you've already built that material. And of course you'll want a works cited. And please make sure, as you go through every part in this project, you're going to get continual feedback from me. I'm going to give you a lot of good feedback on what to what needs some work, what's really good about your work, and where you might want to look further or dive deeper. Part 6 is the peer draft. So you actually are going to be paired up and do drafts or do review drafts with one another. And again, there's 2 parts of this. There is posting your revised draft by Thursday of a given module. I believe it's 14. And you're going to have to revise and update it based on the feedback you receive on part 5. So at part 5, you'll get more feedback from me. And then between part 5 and part 6, you'll want to get up to 2,000 words if you're not there already. And really make sure it's as refined as can be. And then you'll want to post it to the appropriate discussion board, and then you're going to have somebody that you're paired up with who you're going to review and critique that classmate's paper by Sunday. So the idea is that you're getting your paper critiqued and you're critiquing somebody else's, so that in truth that usually helps students with their own writing. So you'd be giving evaluative feedback based on a rubric, critical feedback based on your own understanding of the content, and relevant feedback based upon your own learned lessons on writing in this course. So by this time, you'll have gotten a lot of good feedback in different ways from me, and you want to leverage that. You want to think about what were the things that you found with your writing that need to work, and also see if other students need help with that, or just what you've learned about this course and how that makes you read or perceive the student's paper. And then finally, part 7 is the final draft, and this is where what you should be passing in is a well-polished, well-written, clear essay that addresses the major questions. It really should, at that point, take in all the feedback from peers and instructors. You should have revised it, Revised it, revised it. I'm going to say that a lot throughout this course. All good writing goes through revisions, goes through editing. So you want to make sure that you're doing that for your writing. I know it sounds tedious, I know it can sound like a waste of time, but this is a really good process, not just for my course, but all of your writing, all of your communications. You're going to be going out into the world at large, and this is a key tool to have. And then you submit a well-polished essay. So that's the bare bones of it. You really do need to check out the guidelines, of course, and if you have further questions about this, please post them to the questions forum. So that's all I have. Thank you very much.